All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns, this is All In Colts, presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in, and happy Black Friday to all who celebrate. The Colts will visit Foxboro, and while this is not the classic Colts versus Patriots matchup from the early 2000s, it will be a new chapter of the rivalry. We will give you our keys to the victory for the Colts and matchups to watch, as well as our predictions of the results. So, let's go All In Colts.
I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We are the Unstable Blues, happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Yep. The Patriots lead the all-time series between the Colts and them, 53-31. But the Colts have won 2 of the last 3 since the departure of Tom Brady, including effectively ending Bill Belichick's career in New England with last year's win in Frankfurt, Germany. Figured you had it.
Videos.
I figured you had it. I was just waiting.
As many times as possible. Like, if there's 2 things that we will do on X, it is post GIFs about Jennifer Lawrence every time there's a Trevor Lawrence thing that we come across, and post that as many times as possible, because there's nothing better as a Colts fan. The team I do not like most, hate's a strong word, but it's reserved only for these guys.
That makes sense.
Because I just nope. Too many bad memories and things like that. The Colts are going to be without Josh First Downs, Ashton Doolin, and down to their third string center, Danny Pinter. All things that factor into this game. So what are your keys to the game, sir?
Run the ball and keep running the ball.
No.
Jonathan, I know, right? We didn't do it last week. They were clogging the run game, so I was a little bit more lenient on that. But JT had a breakout run that got taken back, so surely he's going to have another one at some point. Anyways, JT, like I talked about in the fantasy episode yesterday, normally has a pretty good game against New England. I'm looking for him to have another one over plus 100. Maybe 1-2 touchdowns, something like that. Nothing crazy, but something very attainable for this offense. Yes, the offensive line is on their third string center, but Danny Pinter has played this position before, and the O-line did not look terrible within there. We have a lot of rookies there because injuries and all that stuff is so much fun to deal with.
Bernie may be back.
Okay.
Bernie may be back. So that puts an interesting dilemma then at the troublesome right guard position.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
With Dalton Tucker. Gonzalez can slide over and play that.
Mm-hmm. Time of possession needs to be won. This is a game where I think you are able to do this in both the run game and pass game. Not saying the Patriots are like just walkover type of team. They're a good team. Drake May is playing well. They just lost to the Dolphins, so they're coming off the loss. But so are we. So are the Colts. AR needs to have a good game. He needs to step up. I like the way he's running the ball. Keep running it like that. 5-yard gains is good. You don't need something much. Obviously, you're going to have one that breaks off for more than 5 or 6. But 5 or 6 is good. That gives you opportunities so that whenever you get down into the 10-yard line and you're at the 5 or 6, you can run it with AR, or that's just a threat. It's just AR just provides so much versatility to the offense. I just need to see more accuracy. Those deep balls look great, but some are overthrown, some are underthrown. I do believe that is why some are too much to the outside, some are too much to the inside. Just be able to place it where you need to. You have the arm strength or the leg strength, whatever way you want to put it. Be able to place it where you need to, though. Defense, don't fall asleep in the middle of the game. We need you there more than beginning of the game and third quarter of the game, honestly.
I like it.
But stay in for all 60 minutes of the game. Prep for 70 because it means you'll be ready for 60. I like what you said last week. You said prepare for a 70-minute game because if you prepare for that, you prepare for all 60 minutes as well. If you over prepare, you'll get most of the stuff right. If you prepare just enough, you're gonna fail on some of the stuff that maybe look easy to other teams.
Yeah.
AR, keep avoiding those sacks. I keep on saying time and time again he doesn't have a touch on the ball. Just like if it just needs a little bit of just have that happen. Just put the touch on the ball. Like his first week back, he missed the pass to Kylan Granson. He missed the 2-point to Mo Alley. These games are decided by inches, yards. Just make sure you take the yardage that they give you. And then the Patriots' offensive line is not good. Not good. You have a rookie quarterback there. Looking kind of like the Bears. Bad O-line, rookie quarterback. You know what you did good against the Bears? You pressured. You know who your defensive line is healthy. Latu is better than he was back whenever, I believe it was week 3 whenever the Colts played the Bears.
Yep.
He is, in my opinion, it sounds biased, defensive rookie of the year candidate right now.
I'd say verse, but yeah, I'm with you. He's growing. He's getting better.
He is. Yeah. He's looking like a true number one. I believe he starts now as well, which is very important for his confidence boost and all that. I don't know. I believe Quiddy is still in there as well. Yep. So we Quiddy and Latu on the edge, Buck and Grove in the middle. That's scary. If I am another team, wreak havoc, stop the run. Ramondre Stevenson, they like to run with him a lot. He just got nominated for an angry run against the Dolphins. Don't let that happen to you.
But he only had 13 yards total against the Dolphins.
But he did not have much yards. So, and one last thing real quick. Yep. Cover the tight ends. Hooper and Henry are the main outlets for May. Cover the tight ends.
Yep. I had that as well. It would be great if Jalen Carlisle was back for that because a converted safety cornerback that now plays linebacker would match up really well on some of those flexible tight ends. That was my thought. Yep. I don't know if he's going to be back or not. Okay. Do not fall asleep after the Lions lost. Right? There is a Lions hangover scenario that has been happening. Don't let that happen to you. The Patriots are better than their record. They are proof. Any given Sunday, something can happen, right? So don't look at the record. Just play your matchups. There is a question of who the Colts' number one receiver is with Downs out and who works out of the slot. Any thoughts from you?
I think the tight ends are going to be used a bit more in this game. I think Granson kind of find those spots. Ogletree seems to be the guy that does that most out of the tight end spot, kind of go sit in a spot. Granson seems to be more of the crosser, and Molly Cox is give me a 5-yard out route, 5-yard in route. Let me bulldoze someone. Let me get you in the end zone. Let me get you those hard-fought yards as a tight end. So I think the tight ends are definitely going to be used a bit more. As for the number one receiver, I would say, especially after this past week, it has to be Pittman, right?
Yeah, I would say I would agree with you. Pittman's probably the number one, but look out in the slot. I think that Adonai Mitchell and Pitt, I think that there might be quite a bit of, flexibility with both of them. And then maybe our first shot to look at Anthony Gould and see what he's got.
Yeah, I like that.
That would be nice.
He was injured this past week, but we'll see how he's doing.
Was he injured or was he just on the inactive He's been consistently like just on the inactive list. So, but
I'll check.
I mean, that's the other thing that you miss when you get downs out is who's going to do the punt returns? Is it now Goodson now? Because you also lost Ashton. So that's tough. Okay.
Gold,
Stay away from
gold,
Christian.
gold was not
Yeah.
even on the practice report, so it means he's good.
Good to go. All right, cool.
Yep.
Stay away from Christian Gonzalez at all costs. Last week they went at a particular cornerback. You just want to make sure you stay away from Christian Gonzalez. He is good. He's coming off injury, but he's still really good. Second year, and I think he was injured most of his first year. So, but he's good, right? Out of Oregon, you want to stay away from him. I think the Colts forget you can do this. Screen pass. Screen pass. Whether it's planned or whether it's not. Also, what has been happening a lot around the league that the Colts are just not copying is a tight end screen. So effective. Go out on a block, look like a run play. All of a sudden, boom, he's on your shoulder and he catches the ball. But by the time he's on your shoulder as a lineman, he's already caught the ball and gone. So, and that gets you a good 5-7 almost every time. So, you got to work those things in there. Adjusting to your offense to a 3-4 defense, right? Not as common as much as it kind of was in the early 2000s. But they've played the Dolphins with no JT on a 3-4. They've played Vikings with no AR. They played the Steelers with AR hurt kind of into it, and then they played the Titans with no AR. So each time they've played a 3-4 defense, they've been missing a key player from the backfield. And so that doesn't provide you as many options as they have now. So I'm interested to see what it looks like with both those options, provided that they can both finish the game. Okay?
Yeah.
Incidentally, Tyler Goodson had a really good day against the Dolphins, if I'm correct. I just kind of went back through that film just to take a look at that one because I figured that was the most accurate, even without JT. You mentioned time of possession. The Patriots have won or lost based on time of possession, except for the Rams game where they lost the turnover battle 2-0. So, you mentioned time of possession. I agree with you. From what I saw, direct correlation to the Patriots' wins and losses. Script the first 5 plays of every drive is what I would do, because that's when Steichen and Anthony Richardson are both really good with this kind of preconceived what it can be, right? They started the game really good against the Steelers, really good last week against the Lions, moving the ball, not getting it in, but, moving the ball well. So
really good against the Jets as well.
Yeah, if you know your plan works well at the beginning, then plan for every kind of drive and kind of say, okay, this is what our first 5 plays are going to be if we're in this kind of score and distance situation, right?
Yeah,
have those on the ready.
Yeah, and to kind of add on to that, if a play works, don't consistently use that play over and over and over. But keep it in your back pocket. Like, don't stray away from. I feel like too many football teams, high school, college, and pro, do this way too much. They find a play that works and they stray away from it too much. If the play works, back in my junior year, if the play worked, we were gonna do it, and every single down until they stopped it.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's a remember the Titans. 6 plays, split V. Novocaine. Just give it time. It'll work. This may come as a shock. Protect the ball. Take the ball.
There we go. There it is.
Like I mentioned, the only time that the Patriots won the time of possession and then lost the game is when they gave the ball up. And that you can't do that. So,
yep.
There you go. pressure contain Drake May. You got to watch your lanes on him, watch your gaps, because he will take off and run. He is a good athlete. He reminds me of Alex Smith with a little bit of Josh Allen. Does that make sense? And then a little bit of Justin Herbert. There you go. That's those three together are Drake May. I'm not saying but that to me that's the ceiling. That's what he can be, right?
Yeah.
And so you got to watch out because he can run it, right? If he doesn't see anything, I mean, watch that, game tying touchdown against the Titans or the 2-point conversion, whatever. He's running all over the place. But he can also out of that just. So you got to set the edge, but you got to contain in the middle as well. So things to keep in mind, all while you are continuing to try to stop Ramondre Stevenson. And to help with that, dial-up stunts, as you mentioned, this is not a experienced offensive line, and so dial-up stunts and simulated pressures like they have done this season at times with Gus Bradley to confuse that questionable offensive line. And as you mentioned, have a plan for Hunter Henry. So what are your matchups to watch?
I think my first one's got to be Christian Gonzalez versus whoever they put up to distract him.
Okay.
Or if they just burn Gonzalez and you're open, the deep balls versus the secondary. AR put some good touch on it, put it where it needs to be. On defense specific matchups, I guess our linebacker cover linebacker and Blackman versus Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. And then I don't know who their number one is. I guess it'd be Douglas.
Polk, is it?
I think it's Demario Douglas.
Douglas has been hot. Polk is back. Bourne also. Kendrick Bourne. That's their top three receivers.
However you split those up, Jones can handle one of them. Kenny can handle one of them. Maybe have help on the side where Womack is. Not because Womack can't handle it, just because Womack isn't as experienced as the other ones are, or doesn't look as promising, I guess.
Right.
I mean, Jones was kind of shutting down his side. I like the one-on-ones with Jones, and then obviously we know what Kenny can do. What are your matchups to watch?
I got Nick Cross versus the Drake May run, knowing that Nick Cross is a strong safety. You have Julian Blackman versus Drake May's eyes. There you go. Covered my safeties. I like Grant Stewart versus Ramondre Stevenson.
I like it.
Let's get some flying hair around on some flying dreads and see what happens. Let's just see what just their hair all tangle up and they're just it'll be like gladiators. And then let's see. I like coaching. Shane Steichen versus Gerard Mayo.
Okay.
Offensive coach, defensive coach. Obviously, Gerard Mayo having been with the Patriots organization for a long, long time. Also, a little tidbit found out this week. You know who were college teammates? Gerard Mayo and Jim Bob Cooter.
Oh, that's cool.
So, little fun Tennessee volunteer connection there for them. And then, with no preface, Gus Bradley versus Alex Van Pelt. No preface. No preface.
So is it fixed?
I don't know if it's fixed. I don't know if it's quite fixed.
I think last week was kind of like we kind of skipped that week, and then kind of go to this week. So what if the defense performs this week?
Yeah, and if you think about it, you held maybe the most potent offense in the National Football League to, I know it sounds goofy, only 24 points. But when they had scored 50 plus in the last, 2 out of the last 3, and you held them to 24, which is below their yearly average, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It is.
Especially for as long as they were on the field, because they were like, there was 37 minutes of possession time. So once again, when your offense isn't you doing you any favors because of the penalties and such, there you go. Who is your all-in player to watch?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking maybe JT. Like, no. I'm going to go Zaire Franklin.
Okay.
He is the defensive captain. He calls the plays. He needs to be in tune with Gus Bradley, know whenever something isn't going to work. Because he is on the field, he has the ultimate say. Know when to change the play, how to adjust. Watch what Drake May is doing as a rookie. Watch his consistence and inconsistence. Capitalize on the consistence that you know about. Consistence. Here, let me explain what I'm talking about right now. Consistent is basically, let's say you're a running back, for example, and you're lined up and you look to the right, like just with your eyes, maybe not with your head, just with your eyes.
Right.
You're more than likely going to run that way. You're looking at what you have.
Yep.
Those are type of consistent stuff that happens every down that kind of clues you in on what the play is going to be. He is a rookie. Okay. He had experience in college. He had experience in high school, but the NFL is different. Just slight consistency. Pick up on those. Know what's happening. Adjust to that, and then boom.
Yeah. All right. I like it. Are you calling out Zaire as Pat McAfee did?
No. Okay. I'm not calling him out.
No. We're not getting into that. We're not getting into that.
No. That is not about us.
They pulled back a little bit, but they didn't also because it wasn't. Yeah. Pat kind of called out, bless you, Zaire way back to college, that he didn't have a successful record in college either.
Auburn,
Syracuse.
Right.
So
same. It has a letter as the logo, blue, navy blue, orange.
Yep.
Same
colors. You're correct. My player to watch is Laiatu Latu. You mentioned him. You brought him up.
I like it.
He is, on the upward trajectory, and this is his chance. He is the number one drafted rookie from defense off the board this year, going against the third quarterback taken. Third quarterback taken.
Happened to be a third pick as well.
Was it? Yep. Okay. Yep. You're right. This is it, right? This is the best defense against the third best quarterback, supposedly. But maybe playing like the second best of those top three. Sorry, Caleb Williams. You went to the Bears. I told you. So that's, I think, and I think he can be helped with Ramondre Stevenson. The thing he has to watch here, as I mentioned, is those gaps. But look for Latu to maybe get Drake on one of his improvised runs as well. Don't be surprised if Latu can compensate for any upfield over pursuit by being able to continue to pursue, because that's what he does really well. What's your prediction? Who's winning? What's the score going to be?
I'm going to say Colts get it done 24-17. Pretty typical prediction.
All right. I continue to pick against the Colts as my little stitious. Not my superstitious like you, but my little stitious. And I'm going to say Patriots 24-23. I'm giving them 2 at home, which is just under home field advantage. So, for what it's worth. Cool?
Yep. I like it.
All right. Well, that is it for this week. We'll be back next week with a recap of this Patriots game, our look around the AFC South, weekly predictions of 6 games around the NFL, our fantasy stable where we look at Colts players and their fantasy stats and projections. Plus, with the bye week, we will take a look back at all of the statements that we have made that have come to fruition this season.
Yep. As always, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.